Hey guys, it's Jill and Logan from Moon Gap Acres. Today we are going to make a barbecue sauce and we're going to can it. It's going to be a traditional style barbecue sauce and we're going to be using all of these tomatoes that have been coming out of our garden, which is wonderful. We'll probably be using a lot of our cherry tomatoes because we have a bunch of those. And we're going to be using onion and we'll probably put in a little bit of jalapeno for a kick. And so the first thing we need to do is just chop up the tomatoes. We're going to run them through our juicer, which is a really great way to get your tomatoes through without any seeds or pulp or anything like that. And we'll be chopping onions and getting those started and get them into our stock pot and start cooking that up and get ready to can. Our tomatoes, so each time we pour that container in there, it's 4 cups. So we're just going to keep going and adjust our recipe as necessary, depending on how many tomatoes that we get. Okay guys, we have made some really great progress here in the kitchen. We actually ended up doubling our recipe, so we used 40 cups of our tomato juice that we juiced ourselves out of our own tomatoes. And we just made sure the recipe went along with that. So we added some more onion. We had 2 cups in the original recipe. And so we had 4 cups of finely diced onion. We added some jalapenos. That's not actually in the recipe, but we added some, just a couple for a little heat. We did crushed red pepper. So how much do we have? I'm looking at the recipe here. 2 tablespoons, so that was double. And then we did our celery seed, which this recipe calls for 1 tablespoon. And so we did 2 of that. And we've just been stirring and stirring. And so what we need to do right now is just let it cook down about a quarter of the way down. And then once that's done, we will add some other things to finish off our sauce. And we'll walk you through that process as well. Did I miss anything? No? Okay. We'll see you guys later. We also added 3 cloves. It was in the original recipe, so we doubled that, and we added 6 cloves of garlic. Okay, here is our sauce. It has been cooking down for probably about an hour to an hour and a half now, and you can see it's about a quarter of the way down the pan, so we are ready to add our other ingredients. Okay, so we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. We have 4 tablespoons of salt. Very good. And then we have 3 tablespoons of nutmeg. Good. We have 2 tablespoons of ground mustard. And then 2 teaspoons of ginger. And 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. 2/3 cup of lemon juice. Now again, all of these ingredients are doubled because we doubled our recipe. And then we have light brown sugar. We have 3 cups lightly packed brown sugar. Okay, now we're going to add 2 cups of white vinegar. And we're just going to keep stirring it. We're stirring it pretty consistently, like every few minutes, for the next 30 minutes. And then we'll check the consistency and see if we're ready to put it in our jars. Meanwhile, we'll get our jars ready, get those warmed up, and get ready with our canner. So this is going to be a water bath can. So we'll need to have the water to cover each can. So we're going to get that ready, get that water boiling in the meantime. Okay, it took much longer than we thought. This is our finished sauce here. Probably about a couple hours rather than the half hour that I originally stated. And that just might be because we use the juice rather than the diced tomatoes. That may have been the reason for it taking a little longer. Okay, our sauce is done, so we're ready to put it in the jars. We're going to use our funnel, and I have pint-sized jars, and we're just going to fill it up to about have like 1/4 or 1/2 inch headspace at the top. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. The jar is full, so I'm just going to wipe around the rim. Then I'm going to get my lid. Okay, we're just going to place that on top. And then get your ring. Tighten that up, and then we'll put it into our water bath. Okay, so we have 8 jars in our water bath canner, and you're going to want to keep them boiling for 20 minutes. Okay, our timer just went off, so let's take a look at this barbecue sauce. Our first pint. Color's beautiful. It's a little darker than it seems to appear on camera here, but I think it's going to be delicious. We've been testing it. It's very sweet and spicy. Here's our 8 jars out of the canner. Looking great. We still have some sauce left to can, but we'll finish up here. All right, thanks for joining us today as we made our barbecue sauce. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.